This simulation uses students' understandings of levers and pulleys to make a Rube Goldberg machine. You click on the Rube Goldberg, you see here that it's preventing a pop-up window, so I'll need to go ahead and allow pop-ups from FOSSweb. I'm going to always allow pop-ups because I know FOSSweb is a trusted site. When I open up the Rube Goldberg machine, the students are given a challenge. I'm going to go ahead and make that full screen so that we can see it better. The challenge is that there's a burglar and he's breaking into the house, and the goal is to make it so that the dog gets to the burglar. So what we're going to go ahead and do is close those. The first thing we need to do is test how it works. So we go ahead and just test, see what's going to happen. So as you see, the first thing that happened is the burglar comes in, it pulls the string, and you have to drop the safe and get the ball through the hole. Students at this point need to adjust the safe in order to make it go through. Students who have questions about how to make it work can click on the number. Here they get directions that show how to make that safe drop closer. So to make the ball go through, it gives directions and explains how it works. So here it explains that we need to drop the safe closer, less leverage. So now I'm going to test it again. Let's see what happens. This time the ball went too high, so now the student would have to adjust and test again. And the ball goes through. They continue this process. Each step has some sort of challenge that they need to come through. On this one, you're going to click the 2, and it's the pipes, talking about how the diameter of the pipe can affect the pressure and then therefore affect the force. So here you realize that you need to make this just a little bit wider. Now if you make it too wide, the water won't come, the candle won't touch this rope to burn the bird, the rope for the bird. Here you see it goes through, the water barely makes that. So students are going to be able to play with this and develop a deeper understanding of how the width of that pipe is going to affect the machine. So the challenge in this, the one thing that I found difficult as I went through this, was that I continually had to start at the very beginning. I couldn't just start at each step and test this step each time. However, students aren't going to find that frustrating. They'll just keep starting over, and they actually think it's kind of fun to do it over and over again. So as you go through each step, you'll see that you're going to follow that same process. You're going to find the problem, you're going to click on the number, and it's going to give you instructions on what you need to do to fix it. So here we come down, the bird lands. The goal is to make that bird flip the hippo up here. So we're going to look at this. Again, it's going to give you directions on how a fulcrum works. So we're going to go ahead and move that fulcrum closer to the hippo. Then we're going to start over again. And the hippo lands, dragging the dog up. We notice that the dog is going to go too far up with 4. So here we're going to click on it again. It needs just a little bit of an adjustment. We're going to look at 4. So now here was a complication I ran into, is the kids can't see it through this almost there, still needs a little adjustment. So they have to go ahead and read around the top part. They're not going to be able to read. They're going to have to read this bottom part only. So they're going to read through that, and then they'll realize that they need to decrease the number of pulleys. Test it again. And here you see that the dog gets through and gets to the burglar, preventing the burglar from getting into the house. So this was a great simulation. It goes through a lot of scientific concepts of pulleys, levers. There's some mathematical concepts in here too, talking about force, pressure. You could have students figure out some mathematical equations for why these things work. This would be great for students in 4th, 5th, 6th grade. Once you get above 6th grade, and even 6th grade's pushing it, they probably won't enjoy it as much. But this is great for students in the 4th, 5th area into the early 6th grade. I would recommend this simulation. I feel like it is a great way for students to see how those work. It also talks about those Rube Goldberg, which is a chain of events. You can talk about cause, effect. So there's lots of discussions that you could have.